So once we are thinking about use cases for closing the feedback loop, you should always think about the customer journey. And let's take from the very beginning acquisition part, and then we'll get enrichment. And this is the very first part where instead of just using the first party data and checking the cookies, UTMs, you can ask directly what describes your role, what is the primary reason for visiting our website today, and then to use it for personalized nurturing, remarketing, and then making sure that you deliver that personalized action and get better conversions rates. And then we can get into enrichment, and then actually which brings us into the attribution itself, which is how did you hear about that, right? So this is the key question that every single marketer is asking ourselves. What was also interesting for me is a report from 2025 that just 15% of global brands were using zero-party data in their marketing attribution modeling, which basically means that we as marketers are usually overcomplicating the marketing attribution using the first-party data, some UTMs, obviously some events, and mixing it all together, adding some ways. But then actually what we should just do is to display this question to our prospects, to our customers, to our trial users. How did you hear about this? And then blend it with other sources that we have. Another actually example, and we're going to jump with Georgia specifically into that use case today, is the post-trial example where you can just ask directly what is the main reason you didn't upgrade, and then create an action based on the upgrade barrier. So either, this could be a discount offer if the price is too high. This could be an invitation for a research interview if the user is missing some features. If they didn't see enough value, then we should actually nurture them with some educational content, with some user stories, with some playbooks on how exactly to use our product or app. And then, if the timing is bad, then the crucial part is around remarketing and sending some reminders to them so that when the timing will be right, they will keep remembering about us. Another actually customer journey stage, activation, onboarding part. Also really good example of using the after onboarding survey and asking questions like, how easy was it to get started with our product? How confident do you feel using the tool? And then you should segment by confidence. So you can reach out to confident users to feature some advanced features, to potentially also invite them to beta testers, to move them forward, forward and to make sure that they'll gonna become your champions users. And then you should also have another flow for your low confidence user to get some support content, to educate them more, potentially to re-onboard them as well. Then if we go down in the funnel, we've got the purchase stage, and the obvious one is the abandoned cart, and with some questions like what stopped you from completing the purchase. And then the key action would be to segment by intent, and when the price is too high, then you can offer the promo offer. That's, I think, one of the key reason is that they're either unresponsive or undecided because they didn't have enough time to play with the product. And this is how we should react. We should react with some product value, with some playbooks, with some use cases, with some templates they can use if we know that they're undecided or just didn't have enough time to test the product. And then again, if the timing is bad, if they are not ready, which is a common issue specifically in the B2B segment, then the retargeting campaign, both using the emails as well as some remarketing across various platforms. That can be also an action if you are segmenting your customers, your users by intent there. And then when it comes to the purchase, we get the post-purchase, and some questions would include how easy was it to complete your purchase, or how would you rate your checkout experience? And here definitely you need to segment by purchase driver. So if it's the price and value, then you can think of you can think of any kind of loyalty discounts or personalizing the whole messaging to showcase the value for money and make sure that the way you are talking to them across various channels is related to their price sensitivity. if it's, like the features, the quality, and then you also like need to make sure that you are pushing the upselling, you are pushing some add-ons offer, because you know that the price is not an issue potentially, that they decided to purchase your product because of the features, because of the quality. And this means that potentially this segment is ready to buy more from you. Like if you know that was a referral recommendation, you can go with that path. I think that one of the key and most interesting use case with the post-purchase reason is that if the purchase driver was a need or urgency, that they specifically in the e-commerce situation or B2C situation, if we knew that they bought our services because there was this urgency need, these are customer segments who's gonna need all of the reminders, right? Because they would never actually act on their own. They would always need some reminders to purchase again, to order, to get your service again. And then once we get the engagement, product engagement, I think like meeting needs is crucial here, and understanding whether we meet your needs or not, whether our product meets your needs. And here are like a couple of questions we can ask, and open questions are crucial here, because we can ask them some CSAT questions, we can ask some multi-choice questions to get some answers. But what we value the most is the feedback around the product, around the service, which is an open question. And we're gonna also like jump further how to use the text answers to automate the flow, because that was the missing part over the years, right? Like, how to run some automations if you've got just the unstructured content. Don't you think, Georgia?
100%, yeah. The fact that we can now collect unstructured data, text-based, and then now run an analysis or even classify it to actually use it being effectively with AI especially is a game changer.
Yeah, because usually we get like tons of like tasks here. We could do this, text analysis here, but with the AI and both, with the AI features and Survicate and Customer IO, this is a true game changer, that you can basically act on the text data. You can act on the unstructured data that the customer is providing you with.
Exactly.
And then you can also segment it by engagement signals. So if you know that they would like to request new features, you can invite them to beta testers. If they're talking about specific most valued features, you can also do the upsell or cross-sell with related functionality. And if this is low satisfaction score, then you should trigger some help and support outreach. But I think with the unstructured data right now, we can be much more precise, and we can also just choose the action that is super relevant to what they just said to us.
Exactly. Just to add super quick on that, we have seen also like in tools like Gong or anything that does call transcript, how important is the engagement within the call, or how important is the tone with something is being defined. So when we capture that unstructured data from service and we can analyze it, that also has a layer of more data we can use.
That's true. That's great. That was also the reason why we started to develop a few years ago, and we have the Insights Hub also right now, so which allows you to analyze all of the unstructured data, like coming from various platforms, all of the customer feedback coming from various platforms, including like this text answers from your survey data, and then compiling it all together and giving you insights you can act on. Because once we get a scale of all of the feedback sources, all of the information coming from so many different platforms, it can be scattered and it could be chaotic, and it's really hard to act right on such a unstructured and hundreds of thousands of data we have.
Yeah. The more that unstructured data can be analyzed and presented for us marketers or people that have to act upon it in a more digestible way, is going to have the better impact on the long way.
Agree. And then we can jump into the, like the use cases of retention and advocacy, the standard use case over the years, the NPS, like how likely are you to recommend us? And I think it's a very easy use case, right? That you want to reach out to promoters, to passives, to detractors. But I think the key game changer, as we just discussed, is that, you can create a survey that asks the promoters, so what exactly makes you happy with our product? Or you can ask detractors, customers what exactly makes you unsatisfied with our product, and you can just act not just on these numbers, which are super easy and where it was always easy to automate, right? But right now we can also act on the unstructured data that we are sending to marketing automation platforms, and that's a true game changer. And the last one I wanted to share before we're going to jump into how to do this is the churn reason survey. Here again, we should segment such a survey by the churn driver. So if it's a price, we should offer a discount or lighter plan. If this is missing features, then we should jump into highlighting roadmap, give some early access. If we have some features in production currently that we want to be tested by some customers. If it's the low value, then we should jump into sending some playbooks and templates, specifically if the user didn't use it, because I think for most of the digital products, including B2C and B2B platforms, the issue is that we are paying subscription, but we are not really using the tool, right? And then after a few months, we decide to cancel it, and that's the key goal: how to make the user really to use our product, how to use that personalized reach out to make sure that we will persuade them, we'll show them quick way to start using our product, and we'll also show them some benefits of using our product. And then we'll also generate this FOMO, right? I think that FOMO generating is also important, so that they know how much they are missing once they churn.
Yeah.
And then once there is a switching tool, then it's all about collecting the intel and then triggering some win-back campaigns later across various channels. Which also actually brings me to the question if you can share more, because we are talking around acting on feedback, and I've been mostly going through the emails or some in-apps we can trigger. But can you also share more? Is it possible to build some segments and do the remarketing here if we know what is actually required to run also some remarketing with Customer IO?
Yeah, once you push your data to Customer IO by, for example, being signals as server responses, or you're just passing data or restructured data into your customer attributes or object attributes, then you can segment based essentially on any combination of any of those. So you could do a customer has performed the following events, has responded to the following service with the NPS score being within this threshold, but also I only want to segment my set of users that belong to accounts that are still in a trial, or I just want to segment based on all those signals also on people that are on accounts that are trials and are only in North America. And then you can act upon those segmentations. So it's super flexible.